Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the videos? Another paid request, this time from Wes. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Tiger Tage 3 from 1991. Now, I have reviewed the first two Tiger Tage films, and I liked them. The first one I thought was a pretty good cop movie. Gritty, hard-edged, decently violent. Didn't mind the lead guy. I remember the lead guy. He was the kind of the comedic factor in this film called High Risk, also known as Meltdown with Jet Li, trying to be like a wannabe. His character is supposed to be a rip-off of Jackie Chan in that movie. That was Jet Li's like Die Hard type of flick. He's been in a few other stuff. Donnie Yen has a small role in that. The bad guy in that, there's a guy in that film who's the bad guy in Wake of Death. I was trying to remember his name, but Jean-Claude Van Damme film Wake of Death. The bad guy in that film, he was in the first Tiger Cage. He was also in a good John Woo film called Bullet in the Head, for learning to stop stuttering. I'd spit that out. Tiger Cage 2, I liked even more. Donnie Yen plays a different character. He got to be the full focus, the lead. Him and his lawyer on the run from bad guys. The bad guys thought they stole this money, but they didn't. They're also framed by the cops, so they're being chased by the cops. They're being chased by these bad guys. They team up with a third guy. So you have the Donnie Yen, you have the female lawyer, you have this third mafia type of guy. The three of them have to work together. The final 15-20 minutes of that movie is worth the price of admission alone. Like, that was really solid. If you're a fan of Donnie Yen, that's worth a watch. It's a bit more lighthearted of a movie, but I thought the comedy for the most part worked well. Like I said, the last 50-20 minutes were a lot of excitement. Great to see an early Donnie Yen film. You have to be leading. This one has nothing to do with the previous two. Just like Tiger Cage 2 had nothing to do with Tiger Cage 1, this has nothing to do with the previous two. Other than Yuen Woo-ping is directing it again. Yuen Woo-ping, who was associated with a lot of movies, including choreography on The Matrix and many other movies. I think after this, a few years later, he directed the film Iron Monkey. I think he directed the sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This one I did not care for. I didn't care for the soap opera type of the story. There's a couple decent action sequences, but they weren't enough for me to go, yeah, I'd ever watch this film again. The lead guy didn't do anything for me. His buddy's Michael Wan. Michael Wan, the most I remember him from is this film, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Knockoff, where he was a detective in that. I know he was in another film I reviewed, but I wasn't... Like, Michael Wan is just there for me. Pretty much the lead cop, which I forgot his name because he didn't leave much of an impression with me, and his buddy, Michael Wan, they're police officers. Our lead cop's girlfriend is working with this guy who they find out deals with insider trading amongst financial advisors. Sounds really fucking exciting of a plot, doesn't it? Insider trading and financial advisors and all this stuff. One leads to another. She agrees to have this wire in the purse so that the cops can hear what's going on. One thing leads to another. They get Mr. Wan, the boss, in custody. Bad guys shoot him, and they want to shut everyone up, and they kidnap the girl. Our lead guy chases after the girl. And to be fair, the lead guy has some good moves. It's not like this has zero good action scenes. It does. It has a couple good fights. And that he shows some nice moves. Sort of the kick everybody ass scene. And before then, like, you have this bit where a bad guy throws another guy who lands on top of a car, and the car goes back, and the guy, because his legs are broken, gets run over, but you don't really see anything. When Mr. Wan gets killed, the cop and his buddy Michael Wan are chasing the bad guys, and each one of them Like our lead sees a bad guy by a fountain, so he does this big flip and he shoots the bad guy. While Mark Wong gets on top of a car, is able to shoot through the windshield. Then later on, it's by this pier, and our lead cop is fighting these bad guys, getting some decent moves, to be fair. The bad guys are on a ship. He tries to trail along, being pulled along, because the ship is pulling this like speedboat, and he gets onto the speedboat, but the bad guys shoot at it. It blows up. He catches on fire. He gets knocked out. He's found by fishermen, and his face is burned up. So then he tries to be a bit like Phantom of the Opera, where his makeup is bad. Like the burn makeup looks really bad. It looks like clay or crap. So that the burn makeup didn't look that good. And then he wears this mask that's like here down, like a metal mask with lips and but like this half of his face. And which is weird because he wears this, but then like this half is fine, and it's like really this half that's burned up. I mean, Darkman did that a lot better. You want to have a makeup guy who's burned up. And Darkman was a better movie. So he's in hiding because he doesn't quite know what's going on. And they think, okay, he's going to be like a vigilante. He's going to take care of these bad guys one-on-one. He's going to kill them. Maybe his mind's screwed up because he's been burned. And there's going to be some drama about the way he looks and how burned up he is. And not a whole lot of that. It's pretty much the lady, she's with the bad guys, help them out in their endeavors and scams and stuff. Although she does see a few pictures of the guy she loved and cries. Sees that her and the bad guys are at a party, so he goes to the party, fights a couple people, kisses a guy into a pool. You have the find everybody at night scene. Michael Wong finds them, joins in. They both try to fight some guys. One of them gets wounded, and they both roll down this hill to escape. Michael Wong keeps talking about how this lady is full of it, and even though, yes, he tried to make some money off this and it failed, he's trying to warn the lead over and over again, there's something up with this lady, there's something up with this lady. The lead guy doesn't want to hear it. The lead guy's hiding on this like houseboat or something with other people. Bad guys on jet skis shoot it up. So our lead cop gets into the water. He like swims, gets up, cuts a guy. Probably the more memorable scene is there's a bit where there's a guy with a jet ski and our lead guy, and the lead guy jumps out of the water somehow. I guess he's a dolphin. Throws a machete, hits the guy, and the guy shoots a harpoon that hits our lead. But neither of them die of those wounds. So if you get a machete thrown at you or you get shot with a harpoon, you don't die, apparently. I remember there's another fight he has with a guy, pretty decent bit, where he gets like a board on fire and hitting the guy. It's a good stunt. You're hitting the guy in the head, and the board is on fire, and it connects with the face and the head, and you even jam into the guy and impale him with it. That was a cool scene. Like, that was a decent scene. The jet ski stuff, you get some kind of chuckles out of it. The ending is pretty meh. Because what happens at the end, and I know I'm going very off the cuff with this because it's really not a plot that I felt was engaging. The characters I did not care one iota about, their predicaments. It didn't have the edge of the first film. It didn't have some of the maybe sincere funny bits, and definitely the leading man it factor of Donnie Yen like the second one had. And it definitely didn't have the finale Like even the first film, like those finales felt more memorable than this one. Just the finale of this, spoiler alert, is Michael Wong confronts the lady, Suki, saying, "This is what I have. I have this tape." She's like, "Yeah, I did frame the lead guy, James." That was the lead guy's name, James, in this blackmail plot. But you find out later she really did love James, the lead guy. He's pretty much, I'm going to tell on you. She makes this little bomb in a microwave where the explosion pushes the guy out a window. The lead guy with the James with his bad burn makeup finds the guy, lifts the guy up, goes, "I don't even know if Michael Wong's character survives or not." Because you looked out of it, so I don't know if he died. I don't know if he passed out from pain and he's in the hospital. I don't know if the fucking guy died or not by the end of the movie. Because we never see him again. Maybe they said in dialogue and I missed it, and if so, I apologize, but I don't know if Michael Wong's character lived or died. And if he died, the Suki murdered him, and the guy didn't really deserve it. He was just telling the truth. Because she's a two-time bitch. And then she wants to screw over the other bad guy, and another bad guy finds out and is smacking her. So James gets there with this other cop. That guy gets killed. The one bad guy gets killed. I'm being so vague because I can't remember the details. The bad guy tries to kill Suki. James takes the hits. Even though he's been shot 4 or 5 times, he's able to have the energy to shoot the bad guy. Falls down. Suki says, I love you. I really did love you. He dies. She cries over his dead body. The movie ends. The bad guys are run-of-the-mill, vanilla wafer type of villains. As in, there's no personality, there's no presence, there's no it factor, there's nothing to the villains. The finale compared to the first two is lame duck fuck of a finale. Not that exciting or thrilling. It's trying, I guess, have more of an emotional pathos of an ending, but it doesn't work because either going from this Phantom of the Opera thing that they don't, I think they could have gotten a lot more out of if they really wanted to go in that direction. And not caring that much about the characters, not caring that much about the lead. I guess if you're a diehard fan of Yuen Woo-ping, if you need to see the third one because you saw the first two, is it the worst movie ever? No, because there's a couple decent action scenes, fight scenes, but you can watch better, more intricate fight scenes in the first two. I'm sorry, 3 or so decent fight scenes doesn't make me think the movie's an A thumbs up quality movie. When I don't care about the soap opera plot. I don't care about this weird mesh of trying to be family opera but not really trying to be it, and then all this other stuff going on. And it's a slug of a movie to sit through. It's rather boring. It feels like it takes a while for it to get going. And it's not that exciting, it's not that engaging of a movie. So yeah, I would say this is a pretty boring film, and easily the worst of the 3. But there is a Blu-ray set that has all 3 of them. I guess, hey, you got the first 2. I guess put the third one on. I guess there are fans of this. But yeah, this was a rather boring affair. Not having Donnie Yen was a mistake. The story and plot, I said, just forgettable villains. There's not really a lot of humor or violence. I guess they're really hoping that this love story is going to be such filled with pathos that you be following along. Again, if you like the soap opera plot, be my guest. It ain't for me. So, Tiger Cage 3. I don't know why the fuck it's called Tiger Cage. You could call this any movie. I mean, other than there's a cop. But again, there's no connection with the first two other than the director. Whatever. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.